Have you ever seen two people go from calling each other babe to plaintiff and defendant? Watch a divorce unfold and you'll realize something that most people don't want to admit. That marriage is a business deal. And love, it's just the emotional sugar that helps people sign without reading the terms. Let me explain. We've been sold a dream. White dresses, candlelit vows, matching rings, the happily ever after. But behind every Pinterest perfect wedding is a legal contract, a financial merger, and a system that doesn't care about your feelings when things fall apart. I'm not here to tell you not to get married. No, okay? So don't shoot the messenger. I'm here to tell you to wake up. And this is because too many people are walking into a lifelong business merger with zero negotiation skills, no legal awareness, and no exit strategy. I know you're told when you get into a marriage, you're not supposed to be thinking about having an exit strategy. But in these times that we are living in, I think you'd be very foolish if you get into one without having an exit strategy. Because things happen. Shit happens when you least expect it. So don't you think it's better to be safe than sorry? Anyway, let's start with the basics. Marriage, by law, is a contract. A legally binding agreement between two parties. So marriage is legally a contract. That means when you get married, you're not just promising love, okay? You're entering a business agreement with legal consequences. That's a tough pill to swallow, but eventually you have to swallow it, okay? Why do I say this? You combine assets, things like your bank accounts, properties, and investments. You also combine liabilities. These are things like your partner's student loans in case they've not cleared them, business debts, credit card balances, even if you didn't create them. In many countries, future earnings can be considered joint property, even if one person is unemployed at the time of divorce. Now, I need you to ask yourself this. Would you, in your right mind, enter a business deal like that with no lawyer? No lawyer, no clarity, and no terms discussed? Of course not. But we do it for marriage all the time. Why? It's simply because we were taught to chase the wedding, not prepare for the marriage. So that's the biggest mistake a lot of people are doing. I know a woman, let's call her Sarah. Oh, Sarah was in love. She was deeply, madly in love. They met in church. One of the funny signs is they had matching Bibles. Eventually, they started a business together and they tied the knot in a very beautiful ceremony. Fast forward 5 years, the business grew, but so did the stress. One day, he emptied the joint account, filed for divorce, and walked away with half the business. And Sarah? She had no prenup, no legal guidance, and no safety net. Suddenly, the man who once prayed with her every morning and evening was now serving her court papers. Oh, how the tables have turned. That's when she realized that this wasn't just a simple breakup. It was a legal war, okay? And we all know love doesn't stand a chance in court. Here is where it gets worse. We live in a time where women are told that they don't need men. And men, on the other hand, are terrified of commitment because The system feels like a trap for both of them. Men, they fear losing everything in divorce. Okay, you hear instances where half of their wealth is gone. Some of them are denied access to their children and even their homes. Women, on the other hand, are encouraged to secure the bag and to treat marriage like an upward mobility. And yet, nobody seems to teach either side how to protect themselves. Nobody is talking to them about how to negotiate on terms, fair terms, or simply how to approach marriage like this is a life-altering legal decision. We are always so caught up in the fantasy that we forget marriage is not just an emotional commitment, it's a financial contract. Still convinced that marriage is not a business? Let me ask you this. Why do you need a marriage certificate to make it official? Why do you need to go to court to end it? And why do divorce lawyers or lawyers in general make millions every year when it comes to divorce cases? And this is because the government regulates it, just like it does businesses. Another reason is because marriage affects taxes, property laws, immigration, and child custody. Finally, it's also because marriage isn't just about love, it's about structure, stability, and to top it all, control. If it was just love, you wouldn't need a license. But when the state or the government gets involved, right there, it's a business. Let's talk about priorities. The wedding fantasy versus marriage reality. We spend months planning for a wedding. For the women, you spend thousands on a dress that you get to only wear once. Hundreds on a cake, matching suits, venue, photography, decorations, and the list goes on. But when it comes to marriage, my dear, we don't read the laws. We don't talk about debt. We don't ask about long-term goals, so you don't even know if you align with this person or not. And we definitely don't hire a lawyer to review what it is that we are signing. You just sign away, sign your life away. Now, imagine planning a business partnership like that. Imagine it failing. And that's why people don't leave marriages with just a broken heart. They live with broken credit, custody battles, and finally bankruptcy. Thus, beyond love, don't you think? And please, this is not fear-mongering. These are facts. This should be a wake-up call to you. You can still believe in lifelong commitment, but don't be naive. Marriage is love, law, and liability wrapped into one document, then handed to you. And if you walk in, or if you choose to walk in blindly, hoping that romance will carry you through, you're setting yourself up to be emotionally and financially destroyed. So, if you're going to get married, treat it like the business it is. Get legal advice. Set clear expectations, understand the risks, and discuss worst-case scenarios. It's not like you're planning, but it's always better to be ready and to picture it sometimes, Discuss, what if things just go south? Not because you expect them, but because you're prepared. The same way you would look, or you would start a company, or you would start buying a house or a home, there's some sort of due diligence that you have to do, okay? So do that with marriage also. And this is because you wouldn't buy a house without an inspection, would you? You wouldn't start a company without contracts. So why are you entering the most binding agreement of your life with zero protection? Don't do that. Marriage can be beautiful, but when both love and logic are present, because when love fades, and sometimes it does, it's the contract that you signed that holds all the power. And if you still don't think marriage is a business, ask anyone who's been through a messy divorce. They'll tell you that the court doesn't care about how in love you used to be. At the end of the day, the choice is yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with someone who's planning to get married, and do well to leave a comment. In the meantime, let me know, do you think marriage should be treated like a business upfront, or does that ruin the romance? I am Miss Wangui Muithathi, your personal finance and investment coach, and I'll see you in my next video.